Hey everyone, my name is Nick, and I am your world champion. I hope you're doing well. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
We are going on indefinite hiatus. The band is not breaking up. We just need a little time to regroup, be loved and cherished. Your continued support. The band will be back, better than ever.
Stop! Oh man, what's got you so angry?
There's a nail in my foot.
Holy shit, do you need help, like, getting it out?
No, I put it there for a reason.
Okay, dude, what the fuck?
You told me to stop you if I've heard this before. I've heard this before.
I think that was rhetorical, man. I was using that to, like, set up the intro. How'd you get down here?
I used the fireman's pole, you fucking idiot.
Okay, dude, now I know you're really ribbing me. I would know if we had a fireman's pole.
So, what do I get? What do I get for stopping you, huh?
Alright, dog, listen. If you want to, you can sit down if you'd like, but I need to get into the topic of today's video. We can't be wasting these people's time.
I think I'll take you up on that.
Today we're talking about indefinite hiatus and the many meanings of that phrase.
Y'all are loud.
An artist might say they're going on indefinite hiatus for many different reasons. Maybe they just want some time away from the road, there might be internal conflict between some of the band members, possibly they fell out of love with the music itself, or in modern baseball's case, it's a safe way to break up. I believe it was the Tumblr post that said it best when it read, "Indefinite hiatus is just pop punk for breakup." And when it comes to Brent Lukens, Jake Ewald, Sean Huber, and Ian Farmer, that statement couldn't be any more true. Modern baseball started as an outlet, a place where these guys can go and be themselves out in the world. They made music about the problems that they were experiencing in their early 20s. It was mainly about girls, but didn't change the fact that they were able to write some damn good songs in the process. And one of my favorite examples of this, off their track Broken Cash Machine, they used the lyric, "Oh why did I do that? Why does everything collapse even when it's glued together?" Jake Ewald, who served as the guitarist and the occasional vocalist, absolutely shines here in his place of writing the lyrics and making small changes to help build and add more to the dynamic stories modern baseball crafted in their damn near 2-minute track. A lot of modern baseball songs are just lucky enough to break the 2.5-minute mark, but to use a generic phrase in its perfect place, for modern baseball, it was always quality over quantity. They weren't worried about making their songs 3 to 4 minutes long. It mattered about the story that they were telling and the soundtrack that they laid behind it. For modern baseball, it was always value over volume. They wanted to make honest rock and roll music, to make music for their audience, stripping themselves down to the flesh and saying, "This is who we are," unapologetically, and they wanted their audience to feel the same way. To be honest with yourselves and your friends, and to have the conversations that make you feel uncomfortable. So, what happened? If I have only the best things to say about modern baseball, why do I talk about them when I talk about
indefinite hiatus?
Well, sometimes when you get your dream, it actually ends up becoming far from it. The worst sets in, you become unhappy and you just don't know why. What I think we should all realize about these bands is that it's really easy to forget that these are real people. This isn't a factory to pump out mass-manufactured garbage. These are real people who feel real emotions. And for Bren, it was obvious that he wasn't happy and that he wanted out. I won't go into great detail about it, but if you are interested more in modern baseball story, they released a documentary a couple years ago that gives you a great insight to their lives. I'll leave it in the description if you're interested. Their success skyrocketed them into the stratosphere, the one thing that they didn't plan for. With so many eyes on them, they began to feel the pressure. They can't hold the weight of the world on their shoulders forever. And in January of 2017, Brent Lukens announced that he wouldn't be joining modern baseball on the European leg of their tour. A month later, the band announced that they would be canceling all of their US tours, opting for a mental health break, and more importantly, looking to take care of their friendships. They would sparingly play a couple more shows throughout the year, but in October of 2017, played 3 shows in Philadelphia, the place where modern baseball was born, and the place where modern baseball would be laid to rest. And that was that. It's important to have bands like modern baseball because the things that you love the most won't be here forever. So cherish them and let them know that you appreciate them. You may think that your favorite band is excluded because they're your favorite. I was the same way. But like I said previous, these are real people who feel real emotions. It'll probably only take a couple seconds to craft a tweet to tell your favorite band that you love them. And who cares if they don't respond? You know how much you love them. And I'm not saying this is why modern baseball broke up, because of a lack of appreciation. It was far from it. They were one of the most loved bands that I've ever seen. But you know, while your favorite is still here, tell them you love them, man. If you want to keep up with some of the members of modern baseball and see what they're up to today, you can check out the band Slaughter Beach Dog. It has our boys Jake Ewald and Ian Farmer from Modern Baseball. It started out as Jake's solo project, for when he wanted to write songs that wouldn't exactly fit the modern baseball criteria. If you're looking for a place to start, I would recommend the tracks 104 Degrees, Monsters, and Your Cat.
Who let the dope boys out? Thank God you let me crash on your cow. Who's my God that I'm prancing now?
This is the one that stings the most for me. It's the most recent case of indefinite hiatus that we're going to be talking about. Side note, indefinite hiatus definitely sounds like it'd be the name of a disease. I've been a fan of Brockhampton for less than a year. I've surfed through their entire discography. I hunt for bootlegs and leaks. I listen to their live concerts all the time. So, yeah, it's safe to say these guys are my favorite right now. Well, they were my favorite until I opened up Twitter one day and was faced with the legitimate worst case scenario. None of them died or anything. Well, the band did. And I did inside. I would be slapped with the kiss of death when I opened up Twitter and was faced with Brockhampton announcing that all of their US tours had been canceled and they would be doing only 4 more shows as a band. 2 shows at the O2 Academy in London and 2 shows at Coachella. After that, Brockhampton would be going on indefinite hiatus. And since that announcement, there's only been a couple tweets from the members regarding the situation. But from the ones that we have gotten, pretty much leaves the nail in the coffin that after Coachella, Brockhampton will be over. Since debuting out of Texas, being the hungry group of dudes with all different kinds of attitudes, looking to redefine what people call the boy band, what made Brockhampton different than any other boy band was the fact that they called themselves a boy band. Most of the time, we associate with what we call a boy band as a group of white young teens singing love songs being catered towards girls. Brockhampton was looking to change that. They didn't lean on singing, they rapped. They had members of all different kinds of backgrounds to tell unique stories through their music. Kevin Abstract, Don McLennan, Amir Van, Merlin Wood, Joba, Matt Champion, and Bareface would make up the original ensemble. They were able to craft songs that had a deep, driving message to them, like on Junkie, with Kevin having an open conversation about his homosexuality, and Matt Champion having an incredible feminist verse.
I hate these shaded folk that want a lady like, but don't treat lady right, but they be saying like, and yeah, you mad.
Starting out as a boastful and braggadocious group of kids on tracks like Gold and Sweet, to grow into humble men who would make deep cuts like Tanya, Dearly Departed, and The Light Part 1 and 2. So why is Brockhampton going on indefinite hiatus? Or, we're probably better off to say, why is Brockhampton breaking up? Well, it's hard to say for one definitive reason for how early it is, but these guys have been doing music together for 8 years. At the most, there were 7 performers, and Brockhampton bases its members off of you help produce content with them. So, if you helped color grade the music video, if you managed Brockhampton, you were accepted as a member of Brockhampton. And with that many different cooks in the kitchen, of course there's going to be conflicting egos. There's definitely going to be people who have checked out by now, and more than anything, they're just going to be people who want different things out of life. Kevin Abstract is helping produce Euphoria now, and he was the most vocal about Brockhampton being over after the planned release of their next album. Bareface didn't even perform with the group at Lollapalooza last year. I don't want to speak on the members' behalves, but I think it is safe to say the best years of our lives are behind us now. I used to always say to myself, if My Chemical Romance could break up and get back together, then any band could. But it was very silly for me to believe that, because to be a group of friends, come together, make music, and gain notoriety all while still doing it, it's a big ask to remain friends when it's all said and done. The Amir situation definitely didn't do any help to split the group into 2 places, Brockhampton with Amir and Brockhampton without Amir. Brockhampton may never come back after April 24th, and that's okay. Music is not meant to last forever. These artists do not owe us a damn thing. Music is meant to bring people together, people with diverse and complex stories, to grow even stronger with one another. The last band that we're going to be talking about that suffers from indefinite hiatus is my favorite band, actually. But they suffer from it from the worst example that I think there is.
I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so
There are a lot lot of avenues I can take when I talk about Linkin Park. The fact that they redefined the genres of nu metal and overall rock music as a whole, the continuous influences that they have on bands, and their presence in the history of music. And don't get me wrong, when the time comes, I will definitely be making a video about my favorite band and their importance. But that'll be for another time. Linkin Park at their peak were a household name, making screaming in music the conversation at the dinner table. However, I wanted to bring them up for a pivotal moment in their career. The darkest day in not only the band's life cycle, but the members' lives. July 20th, 2017, Chester Bennington, the lead singer of Linkin Park, had committed suicide. The band would be changed forever, and what they called normal in their lives would never be normal again. Linkin Park was the band of the 2000s. They played a pivotal role in the history of music, and the fact that they continue to influence artists today goes to show how important they were. After that day, they have been on hiatus since. Even if they have released 20th anniversary deluxes and remixes of their own songs, it won't change the fact that they've yet to release any new music. And without feeling like pressure that they should do it when the time is perfect for them. When I started this video, I didn't plan to try and hammer home a message to you, the viewer. But the more I kept writing out this video, the more and more I came to realize there are just bigger things than music. Things that we might not understand, but we have to accept. And more importantly, nothing is forever. Tell the people you love that you love them. I know it's not a groundbreaking discovery for me to say everything can change in a matter of a second, but it is true. One moment, Chester was here, and in the next, he wasn't. One moment, maybe you were going to that modern baseball concert, but in the next, the band fell apart. If you are going to Coachella and stop and see Brockhampton's final performance, take it in. Because the greatest boy band that ever lived will sing their last song. Nothing is forever. We will question a lot of things throughout life. Why did our favorite band break up? Why can't things go the way that they planned? Why is Kevin James fighting in the UFC? There are a lot of reasons a band may go on indefinite hiatus. It will usually leave us with more questions than answers. But instead of questioning all their decisions, let's just dance to the music, stop and smell the air, and thank them for their continuous efforts to try and please our every last wish. Thank you for listening to what I have to say. You guys know the drill at this point. I bounce past the ball to your court. You can choose to do whatever you like. You can like and subscribe if you want to. I have absolutely zero control over that. So I will thank you for your continued support. The only thing I ask for is your time. So if you're seeing this part, thank you so much. Be the best in the world self that you can be. I love you, and I'll see you the next time I'm looking at you. Peace.